Hello and welcome to College Essay Bootcamp Training. My name is Miles Trump and I'm the program manager at 360 Journalism. I will be leading this training today. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to volunteer for our College Essay Bootcamp. This means a lot to us. We could not do this program without a dedicated team of volunteers such as yourself. And so I just want to say first and foremost, thank you. I think it's going to be an enjoyable and rewarding experience both for you and the students. I'm going to dive right in to be mindful and respectful of your time. And if you would follow along with the PowerPoint titled CE Bootcamp Training PowerPoint, you should have that file if you're watching this recording. Background on the program. This program is based on an 8-week program that 360 Journalism did in Johnson and Harding High Schools last year. And what we've done is taken that curriculum and boiled it down into an intense, high-octane 1-week program. What we want to do is help students take an idea and turn it into an adaptable, polished college essay or personal essay that can be used for college applications and college scholarships. We're piloting this week-long program this year. It'll be running from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. over spring breaks at Minneapolis Roosevelt High School and St. Paul Harding High School. At Roosevelt, we have AVID students, which is a college-bound program, and I believe a couple of English students. And then at Harding, we have College Possible students that will be in this camp. Moving on to slide 2, let's talk a little bit about your role as a writing coach. Your main role will be to help students write and revise their essays. As you know, this will entail meeting with students to lead writing coach sessions for 3 mornings out of the week-long camp. That'll be from 9:15 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings of your respective week. It will include workshopping essays while you're working with them in those writing coach sessions. We'll talk about that process a little bit later on. And it'll also include giving their essays an edit for grammar, punctuation, really just cleaning them up on either Thursday evening or Friday morning before 9 o'clock. And again, I'll revisit that as well. But really, you are the support backbone for students in writing and revising their essays. You have a lot of expertise as a writer, and we really want you to be able to pass that on to students and help them. Our role will be to oversee the entire camp as 360 staff. We will also be teaching the students the College Essay Bootcamp curriculum, which was developed by a University of St. Thomas graduate student last year. And then we'll also be supporting the students in writing and editing their essays. So almost acting as part teacher, part writing coach when you are not in the classroom. So that'll be our role as far as camp goes. And just some general goals that we want to see out of this College Essay Bootcamp. We want students to write that polished, adaptable, personal narrative essay that can be used for college applications and college scholarships. Just to give you a little tangent about how important this is, I am a St. Thomas graduate, and when I was here, I was part of a scholarship program called the D Scholarship. And just recently, I and my coworker, Bao Vang, who is 360's engagement coordinator, got to sit on a committee that helped select this coming year's D Scholars. And there were about 300 applicants, a little less than 300 applicants, and there are about 15 to 20 D Scholarships. And our job as a committee was to narrow the pool of about 270 down to 40. And the way that we did that was solely based on the the essays that these students wrote. So we knew their names, we knew what school they went to, and we had a couple of essay answers from them. And that's how we narrowed down 260 to 40. So these really are a big deal because that D scholarship is a 4-year full tuition scholarship to attend St. Thomas. Obviously, that's worth a lot, and that can make or break a student's decision in going here. So just to give you some perspective that these really do matter, and you're playing an important role in helping some of these students hopefully get into college or get an important scholarship that will help them go to college. We also, in the greater scheme of things, want to help them have just a better understanding of the writing process. We're going to take them through many different revisions and give them many different techniques and tips and pointers to apply to their writing. So we want them to leave having a better understanding of the writing process. And we also want them to just be more confident in their writing as communicators and understand that they can do work like this. This will be much like college level work in some ways, and in terms of the rigor of the camp. And so we want them to understand that they can do this. And then also, we want this at 360 to be sort of a feeder program or a pipeline into our other 360 programming for these students. These are juniors, many of them are juniors, and we want them to come to summer camp. We want them to be involved in 360 school year program after this. Over to slide 4. This chart gives you an idea of the work that will be done during camp. And I'll give you time to look at this on your own. But just to break it down really very quickly, in the mornings, we will have a writing coach session. Day 1 is a little bit of an anomaly because there will be no writing coach session and students will be working on a rough draft. But in the morning, on most days, we'll have a writing coach session to start off the day. Then students will have some independent work time based on that writing coach session. So whatever it is that you focused on in that writing coach session and ask them to revise or work on, they'll have time to do that right after the session. In the afternoons, they'll get lessons from myself, who will be leading the curriculum portion of the camp. And they'll also have an opportunity to add those lessons to their essays. So they'll be able to do a lot of writing and revising each day. The goal is to finish their essays in roughly 4 days, and then to have the final day be at the University of St. Thomas, where we're going to have a celebration. You will be invited to the celebration. I'll provide more details to you in the coming days. But just a note, it'll be from 11:45 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on the Friday of boot camp. And it'll be held at the University of St. Thomas with a lunch included. But we want to take them to St. Thomas and help them understand what it might be like to go to a school like St. Thomas, get them connected with admissions, and also have a celebration where they're able to read their essays out loud and just celebrate all their hard work. So we hope that you'll be able to be a part of that. We're going to have them write their essays in Google Docs. If for any reason it will not be in Google Docs, it will most likely be in Microsoft Word. And so that's how they'll be sharing their essays with you. And then again, you can review their essays after 4 p.m. each day. We'll wrap up camp each day after 4 p.m. And our anticipation is that students will not be working on their essays after 4 p.m. So again, writing coach sessions are in the morning. And what we'd like you to do is review their essays beforehand, whether it's the evening beforehand or early in the morning before the writing coach session. We'd like you to review those essays and prepare verbal feedback. You can see in the first column called Focus in Writing Coach Sessions on this chart. That will be your focus in each session. So if you look at day 3, for example, the focus is on central idea revisions, introduction and outline, and those would be the 3 things that you might want to focus on in your writing coach session. And this just gives you an idea of where we should be at on each of those days. Now, students might be in varying places, and so you may not be able to quite focus on the outline on day 3, or you might just have to focus on central idea revision, and that's okay. But if you feel that a student is sort of falling behind or falling off the track, please just let us know and let us know how we can help or what that student might need to focus on to get caught up. If you have any questions about this chart or what the focus is in these writing coach sessions, please feel free to email me. Slide 5, essay format. We're looking for 500 to 650 words. That's based on the Common Application essay prompts. The Common Application is an application that students can fill out once, but it can be sent out to hundreds of colleges and universities. And so we use that as sort of a baseline because the Common Application also has essay prompts, which we use as a baseline for students to write about as well. So that's really a good length based on the Common Application and our own experiences with these types of essays. Again, this is a personal narrative, so we want it to be about the student. We want it to be a compelling story that gives the reader insight into the student's character. It's not a story about the student's entire life, but it's a story that sheds light on what the student might be like, or what the student has learned, or how they have grown, or how they have shifted their perspectives or broadened their horizons. And that can give a college admissions counselor insight into what that student might be like if they are admitted to this college. Also, I included on this slide the Common Application essay prompts. You can see them. There are 5 of them on the slide, and that gives you an idea of what these college admissions counselors are looking for. It's these stories where students have grown or learned or show their ambition. And really, the most powerful stories are ones that show how students have changed, how they've been influenced in different ways, and really they point toward the future in many different ways. So if you have any questions about that, I'm happy to answer those as well. Oh, and lastly, before I forget, we'll use journalistic concepts. So we'll use punchy leads in our introductions, one sentence paragraphs, details and descriptions. All of these things that sort of make up good journalistic writing, we'll try to apply a lot of those to these personal narratives as well.